going on? Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And my friends, we have an amazing guest, an amazing conversation that's going to be happening today. It is truly a conversation you all have been waiting for. This is a great topic. Many of you want to learn about this topic. This gentleman has certainly built the results to talk on this topic about building a faceless channel and building that channel to 600,000 followers in 60 days. Former baseball player, somebody who's gone through personal, the loss of identity and so much more. He's going to be talking to us about his journey to getting here and even making it here on the Wake Up Legendary. So with that being said, another absolutely phenomenal named gentleman, well, my friends, it's the best name in the universe as far as I'm concerned. A little biased here. David.
What's going on?
Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good. A little nervous, but doing pretty good.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, if you weren't nervous, I'd be questioning whether you cared or not. So great to have you care so much to be on here. I'll take that as an honor. So, brother, tell us, how you got here, man. I mean, we'll talk about your marketing here and what you've accomplished here. Feel free to mix that in. Certainly, it's a huge accomplishment, and you've mastered something that a lot of people are interested in doing. So, talk to us about why you even started on this journey in the first place. What led you to Legendary, and kind of what's it been like since you found us?
Yeah. First off, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity. I told my wife, a couple months ago when this whole thing just started taking off, I was like, I'm going to be on Wake Up Legendary. And I always thought that when I first bought into the blueprints and everything like that, I was like, that'd be cool to be on Wake Up Legendary, but never really believed it up until recently. I just kind of was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. A couple months later, here we are, and super excited about it. So, what brought me to Legendary was, kind of a mixture of a lot of things. It's been quite a long road. As you mentioned before, I was a baseball player, a high school baseball star. Played in college, and that's kind of where everything started. Because when I got hurt after playing baseball for so long, and your only dream is becoming a professional baseball player, and that's taken away from you, it's like, what do I do now? So you get into this, vibe of how everybody's supposed to live. You're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to get a good job. You're supposed to get married, have a family, and then that's what you're supposed to do for the rest of your life. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, for me, being somebody who's always been somebody that's been kind of an all-star, been somebody who's been in the limelight, had a lot of people reaching out to me, D1 scouts, professional scouts, things like that. And that's just all taken away from you. It kind of leaves a hole in your heart and in the pit of your stomach. And you're like, I don't even know who I am anymore. I don't know what to do. I don't have any other skills. So what's next? So you go get a job, and you're just working that job. I was an account executive for Fortune 500 companies, working in sales, and it just wasn't fulfilling me. It's not even something that I wanted to work hard at. It was just like I was just doing it daily, and I was doing it so that I could make money, and that was it. There was no passion. There was no drive to be better. And finally, it got to a point, I think it was like November 1st, 2022. I remember the exact day where I almost kind of had just a breakdown, where I was just like, what am I doing? I have no idea. I have no accomplishments. I mean, I've gotten promotions in my job, but I don't really care about those. I'm stressed out all the time. I can't sleep, and it's just, it was one of those things where I just had a kind of a come to Jesus moment where I was like, something's got to change. I don't
Mm,
know what it is yet. So I went on a journey of like just reading tons of self-help books, listening to podcasts. I did 75 hard in the middle of the winter. So I just was trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And then I started researching ways to, make money online. And the first kind of instance I had with it was, blogging. So I created this whole blog, I built a website, started blogging, and I took a course on blogging and affiliate marketing. And after a couple months or a month or so of doing that, I was like, this is going to take a lot longer than I wanted to, and I'm having to write, these massive blogs. Nobody's reading it. I don't know. I think I'll have better luck on social media. So eventually I came across, I can't even remember who it was, who a video I saw, and I had been seeing a bunch of people promoting the $7 challenge. And it was back March 2023, and I was like, you know what, whatever, let's just try it, see what happens. And that very first video, I just resonated with your story, with who you were as a person, and I was like, I'm in. And from there, it's been a it's been a long road and a long journey, and and here we are today. So
mm. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, you kind of dove all in, took the challenge, enrolled in the blueprints, kind of like what resonated with you so much as you were going through the challenge and kind of learning what we teach here. We teach how to sell information online through courses, coaching events, and doing affiliate marketing. What stood out to you? I mean, what made you decide to kind of go all in, to put your money where your mouth was, to say, hey, I want to learn this from these guys, and I want to really take this seriously versus all the other options out there on the internet that I have?
yeah, I mean, I had tried all the other options. So I had, before I bought Legendary, I'd done print on demand, I did drop shipping, I've done it all. And what really stood out to me is, I have built businesses in the past that have, completely failed. And I always grew up in the idea that you needed to have like a physical product. Um,
Mm,
to patent, to market, to ship out, and all these different things.
mm,
And I never really thought about selling digital products, or things that you only have to create once and make commissions on that. High ticket affiliate marketing with my blog, I was doing like Amazon, which you make like 2 cents or something on that if you sell a book.
mhm,
um, and it just was really appealing to me to have the opportunity to sell somebody else's product that I knew was good because I had gone through it.
mm,
Um, and it just really appealed to me, saying like, oh, I don't need to create this massive conglomerate of a business. I can use somebody else's, because I've always been business minded. I've always wanted to start my own business. I just didn't
mm.
know what it was.
Yeah.
I've done it in the past and it failed. So I was like, you know what? Let's try affiliate marketing, and let's really go all in and figure out what it's all about. Let's just give it a shot, because that's been my thing. Is just like, I've always been a person who does things first without ever really thinking about it. It's kind of a good thing, but also in a sense, it's a bad thing, because sometimes I waste a lot of time doing things that I shouldn't.
Mm,
But that's kind of what resonated with me. I was just like, you know what, let's just do it, and we'll see what it's all about. And then I went through this period of struggle for about a year almost,
mm,
where I created multiple different TikTok channels, and they just completely failed. And that's where Faceless kind of came into play. Was, I was like, well, whatever I'm doing right now is not working. So let's try the faceless route, and
Mm.
it ended up going my way. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. I mean, I certainly marketing is all a test, and there's no one way to skin a cat. It's kind of it's kind of hard for some people to grasp that concept sometimes, and they quit before their miracle happens. Again, not a miracle as if you're seeing a burning bush or somebody comes down and blesses you or something and suddenly you have commissions or money falling from the sky, but just the miracle meaning that you try something enough times in enough different ways that it finally clicks for you. That's what I mean by that. And so, you push through that valley of despair, if you will, that learning curve. Sometimes it is slower, sometimes it's quicker. In your case, that's a clear timeline, and that was a worthy effort. Many people would have stopped at that point. Most people don't put in nearly that much work before having a breakthrough. And I also want to point that out. I mean, the disclaimer that I always give and that we have on the bottom of every one of our pages is that the average person who buys any how-to information online as well as here makes no money at all. We're trying to change that,
mhm,
but that means changing human behavior,
right.
which is a difficult thing to change, and sort of driving into people's heads that entrepreneurship is very different than employment. And to achieve success in life, in anything, including this, you're going to have to be resilient.
Mhm.
And so before we get into what specifically you did to build a 600,000 person following, about 550,000 of those on TikTok, through a faceless page, meaning that you never showed your face,
Mhm.
which is super exciting. What in the hell kept you pushing throughout that year? And what can we learn from your experience about not giving up? You're resilient. What limiting beliefs did you have to battle?
Yeah. I didn't think I was gonna get emotional on this, but God damn my emotions. Um, yeah, no, like I said, back in November, I really went through a period of struggle where I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and it set me on a path to really, I think from the time of November to March when I found Legendary, I read something like 50 or 60 books. Um, just trying to understand how to bring out that type of motivation, drive, and consistency. And I have failed at a lot of things in my life, and it's it was frustrating, because I was tired of failing. I was tired of um, feeling like I was at rock bottom. I mean, my life wasn't bad. I was making six figures as an account executive. My wife works, like my children are healthy, like everything was great, but like there was something missing and I didn't know what it was.
Mm,
And then I did 75 hard. That really uh, you know gave me the drive to continue to keep going, because there were several times where I was hurt and you have to work out twice a day. One of them has to be outside, and I live in Utah, so and I did this in the middle of the winter. And there were days last year. I mean, if anybody knows Utah, last year's Utah snow was record breaking. Literally snowed every day of the winter, and I was outside running in the snow for 45 minutes, every day, 75 days straight. And now I haven't really thought about it, but I think preparing myself for this journey of affiliate marketing was the best thing that I ever did, because it gave me the drive to continue to keep going when I was getting knocked down after knockdown after knockdown. So
mm. Love that, man. Um, I've done 75 hard myself. It's a workout program that Andy Frisella created. And, yeah, it's, read personal development for a half hour a day or an hour a day. It's drink a gallon of water a day. It's 2 workouts a day, one outside, one inside. And do it for 75 days straight. I mean, and if you miss a day, you start over from the beginning. And so, man, I mean, you're getting a lot of amazing comments and feedback from people. Throwing the hat, man. I mean, come on, I'm trying to throw a desk up in here. I mean, what's you were having some emotions come up, and by the way, we appreciate the vulnerability and the emotion. I mean, what's coming up for you when, just a moment ago, like what was the emotions you were feeling, and how has this journey over the past year changed you?
Yeah. There they go again. I'm the type of guy that wears his heart on his sleeve. And sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But I think, the emotions that that are coming up is just feeling really proud of what I've accomplished so far. I mean, I know there's still a ton of work to do. At this point, I haven't achieved the goals that I've set for myself, at least all of them. And, but, it's just a testament that, what I'm doing right now is working, and it just makes me feel really proud. And just to think about where I was, a year or two ago, the difference in the person I am, and I've had to battle, naysayers for, over a year and a half, 2 years. That was one of those things. And so, it really, is a testament to that too. That this does work. You just have to give it time. And some people just don't understand it, especially the older generation. They don't understand why anybody would want to build an online business, because they just don't understand that world. And so it'll come off as like, they're nitpicking at you, or, telling you to get a real job. And having to fight those battles too has been, difficult as well. So, just a lot of being proud of what I've accomplished, and, excited for the future. And, yeah, those are the emotions.
I love it. Love it. Well, so it sounds like some of the naysayers that you have dealt with that have caused, some hurt there as well, and that you're sort of using for motivation, came from within your own personal circles. Am I reading that right?
Yeah. So that's it's part of one of the main drivers of me wanting this to work, is to prove other people wrong, that you don't have to conform to society, and you can do whatever you want. And the moment that you start believing that is when things change. It's the fear that keeps us from leaving our jobs. Or luckily, unfortunately, I lost my job. So it kind of fell into my lap. So it's just one of those things that was like, hey, all right, well, now that I don't have a job, might as well try to make this my job, and we got to figure something out now. And that just kind of drove me even more. And then they had people who were like, you need to get a real job. You need to, be applying for jobs. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, and then just saying like backhanded comments and all these different things. And it really drove me to want to prove them wrong. And that's as simple as that.
Jacqueline said, luckily was right. I think that might have been a even slip there, bro. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Just the old subconscious just saying what you really felt.
Exactly. I know, for real. I, I'm saying unfortunately because my wife's probably going to watch this back and be like, "What are you talking about?" You know?
Yeah, yeah, and I can sense your humility, man. I mean, when we get doubt or disbelief from, friends or family members, it's frustrating. It's their own fears coming out. It's they're
Hmm.
projecting their own insecurities onto us, and it can feel so personal. It can feel like such a personal attack.
Hmm.
And the more we grow, the more I've grown, we realize that it's not really even about us.
Hmm.
Their own comments, the support or lack of support that they're unable to give, it really has nothing to do with us, our capability, our potential. It just really is about their own fears, and sometimes it's even about their own love, which sounds weird. It's like somebody's
Hmm.
discouraging me. You're saying they love me, Dave? And it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, sometimes our friends or our family are afraid of us getting hurt,
Right.
or afraid of us being disappointed, or they want to, how for me as a parent, sometimes I struggle with, oh, I want to keep my kid from feeling pain.
Hmm.
And it's like, hey, that's life. They got to go out there, they got to fail forward, they got to feel pain. And sometimes it's hard for our friends and family to let us go and to celebrate us walking into the unknown, because it's scary. It's scary for them to watch us walk into the unknown. And what we're saying is, hey, I'm the one who's walking into the unknown here. Give me some damn support.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just
Mm.
becomes this source of conflict. And it really is, it's a battle. It's hard. One of the things that I've learned to do is to try to really, be the man, be the leader, turn around to family and those who I really consider close friends, and say, hey, I see you're scared for me. How can I make you feel loved and supported as I go do this scary thing? Because I'm trying to muster up all the courage that I have to do this. And I also want to be there for you too. I want you to be there for me, but I'm not going to just get mad at you because you're having your own feelings. And that was a big step for me to,
Hmm.
not feel so offended by everybody who was kind of taking shots at me, and just kind of realizing, wow, man, for example, you mentioned the older generation, kind of trying to have some compassion for them and be like, man, they never really had an opportunity like this.
Hmm.
They have no idea what I'm doing here. I mean, this is complete. It's like a different language to them, and
Hmm.
most of the time, what we don't understand, we often fear. That took me some time. It didn't come. I was a rebellious, angry, defiant, offended guy for a long time, and I'll tell you what, I use that as fuel for my fire, man.
Hmm.
And eventually I kind of grew into gaining some of these other perspectives. But I really appreciate you for sharing that, and sharing it in a way that was sensitive to your family's, feelings. I can tell that you love them. You just felt a little unsupported, and that's completely
Hmm.
fair to share. We don't need to walk on eggshells about that. We're the ones who are doing the damn scary thing. And we're
Right.
also the ones who are having success and making money now, who are going to be the ones who turn around and help them
Hmm.
and provide a better life for them. I know I've been able to give back so much to my family, and even, you know, many of them whom were not, totally understanding of what I was doing in the first place. So, anything coming up for you? I want to talk about your channels here, but I
Hmm.
want to just check in if there's anything else coming up around that journey of getting, to this place, and anything else you kind of had to overcome getting to the point of, well, just to hang in there as long as you did and keep trying.
Yeah. There's a couple limiting beliefs that I had to get over, which was one, as I mentioned, I was an account executive. I sold to over the phone and video chats like this, selling hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. and tech products and things like that. And for some reason, I was okay doing that. But when it came to selling Legendary or promoting it, I wasn't okay with it at first. I was like kind of scared of it. I was like, what? Why don't I want to sell this? Why do I feel so uncomfortable? My whole job is selling a product that I don't even use. I use Legendary Marketer. I use it every day. I go through the courses, the blueprints, and things like that, and I find great value in it. Why am I so afraid to promote that? And it was just one of those limiting beliefs, and it was kind of like my money mindset. When it came to myself, I couldn't do it. I couldn't get over it, and I think that's what blocked me from having the success at first, was because I was shying away from it. I was not confident, and so I really had to like just overcome the fact that I was like, you know what? Why would I be afraid of selling a product for myself? Why am I selling just because a company says it's okay, and they're a massive business and they have a certain things and certain regulations and things like that are that the society says it's okay, but for some reason, because it's out of the norm, I can't sell Legendary. And so once I got over that hurdle, I was able to really dial it in and understand, like, this is for me. Like, I'm not selling this for anyone else. It's for me. And that was one of the biggest factors that kind of kept me back as well.
In any affiliate product, right? I mean, because this is not just about, you're most likely going to have a big career as an affiliate for many products and brands over your career. You may even create your own digital products, right? And I look at it as we have a hard time, or excuse me, it's easier to work for somebody else than it is to work for ourselves sometimes.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the sense that I was getting as well. It's like, oh, it's just easier to go that route. It's easier to sell somebody else's product when, they've been established for 30 years or 40 years or however long the company's been together. But it's like, if this product actually provides value, then why wouldn't you want to sell it? Why wouldn't you want to promote it as an affiliate? And I just really had to get over that hurdle for some reason.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. It's your own journey and we all have our own limiting beliefs, and kind of it's amazing how unique they can be sometimes. Not that yours are really particularly special and nobody else has had that, but I love that you have that awareness around that. And now it seems like you feel quite different, or at least you've pushed yourself through to the point of, kicking some butt and taking some names. So let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your, did you start your Guard Your Mind first, or your super affiliate dad page first? Because you do have two. You're also focused on TikTok primarily, it seems.
Yeah.
Let's transition now and talk about your kind of journey of creating content, and talk to us about how you came up with, the idea of Guardian of Minds, and or is it Guardian of Minds?
Yeah, Guardian of Minds.
Guardian of Minds. Okay. So talk to us about that, man. Completely faceless profile, never showing your face on it whatsoever. Walk us through the thinking behind it, why it's working so well, and where you're getting the content for it and so forth.
Yeah. So I had been seeing, people doing faceless TikToks. I mean, you see all these motivational pages, and it's literally just like stock video footage that they're putting, a voiceover to. And I'm like, man, they're getting millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes. Like, I could do that, Because right now my personal TikTok isn't doing anything. You know, I tried affiliate marketing with TikTok for like ever. And it just wasn't working. I had probably built like 5 different channels, and I would get to like 500 followers, and it just wasn't doing anything. So I would start over. You know, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to start a new one, and then we'll try another. And then finally I got to 1,000 followers with one of my previous TikToks, and I was like, yes, this is great. And shortly after that, TikTok banned it, and I was like, and I was getting leads consistently. I'm like, all right, things are working, things are going. This is great, this is great. And I just got shut down. And I could have easily been like, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm tired of it. Whatever. And at that point is when I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna build a faceless TikTok channel, and we'll see how it goes. So I started it. It didn't do very well at first because I didn't really know how to do it. I was creating everything on my own, and it was taking a lot longer. But I was like, if I can find a way to make content that only takes me 5 to 10 minutes to make per piece of content, then I would be golden, because there's got to be a way to make content on this app that doesn't take me hours to do, because I was sitting there in front of the camera for hours creating content, you know, editing it, you know, doing these crazy edits and like trying to grab people's attention. And I'm like, man, this is not working. So there's got to be a way to make content easier and faster. And I don't have to create it. I just put it together basically like a puzzle. And so I kind of went on a journey. So I started it, you know, tried it for a month or so, didn't really get any traction. At first I was using AI. So I was just taking the clip from YouTube, putting it into Opus Clip AI, and then having it chop it up into a bunch of different videos for me. And then I was posting those. Those didn't do very well. So I was like, okay, that didn't work. And so I took a break from that for a little bit. And then I came back to it, and because I had kind of had an idea, I was like, oh, what if I just take some like stock video footage that I get from Canva, and, you know, and just write out my own script and, you know, edit it in TikTok and have it, you know, speak or whatever. And that one, those did okay. I mean, they weren't great. I'm like, okay, well, how do these people on TikTok get these audios? Like, how are they getting this voice? How do I use that? And so, you know, I finally came to the realization. I'm like, wait, I could probably just use the sound on TikTok, like, because people have been using the sounds on TikTok since the beginning. They'll do lip syncing, they'll, you know, do little funny skits with it. I'm like, I wonder if I can just take my stock footage, put it to that sound, and then download it from TikTok somehow. And TikTok eventually now has a feature where you can actually download from the editing screen with the audio in it. So I would put my stock video footage to it, download the audio with my video, and then I would put it into an app called CapCut and just edit it in there. And all I would do was literally add some like transitions, some fade ins, fade outs here and there, and then I would add like captions. And so that audio was in my video, and then I could just post it from there. And so I could pump out 4 videos in a matter of like 20 minutes, because there's so much content on TikTok that you can use to your advantage. And I was like, well, I'm just going to do this over and over again and see what happens. So I started doing that with, you know, I had my first video with that method was like a car driving on the road or something like that. And it was just like the road going forward. And I was like, okay, they're getting a little bit more views, so let's try to level up this. And so I found some more stock video footage, and I just kept doing that until something took off, because it kept getting better and better and better. And then finally I had a video, I think my first video that went viral did like 100,000 views or something like that. And I was like, oh, dang, So I just did it. I just used the same video footage over and over and over and over again. And if you scroll down my profile, you'll see like it's literally the same guy walking in the road, going forward slowly, and it transitions to something else, and it's all the same. And then eventually I started switching it up and things like that. But it was one of those things where it's like, okay, if I found something that works, I'm just going to keep doing it over and over again. And eventually I got to where I hit 10,000 followers, and then I was like, okay, that was easy. I did that in like a week. Let's keep going. And then I started creating my own scripts and using my own experience. And then I had another one. I had a video shortly after that do like 600,000 views. I'm like, man, this is insane. And then I started just implementing what other people were doing. I was taking their script and then I was rewriting it with their hook. And I was just rewriting it in my own words and then uploading it to TikTok. And it just completely exploded from there. And then 60 days, I was sitting at 500,000 followers, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. This is what I'm going to do. My other personal TikTok wasn't working. So I'm going to use my faceless TikTok to build my personal following because now I have the expertise on that. And that's something that people are interested in learning. And we'll use that to build my personal TikTok. And instead of affiliate marketing, because affiliate marketing and faceless TikTok, they go kind of hand in hand. Because I mean, if you want to monetize your TikTok, especially if you don't live in the US, you can't get access to the creativity beta program. So you need another source of income from your channel. So affiliate marketing would be the ideal spot. So I was like, I'm going to kind of not twist it, but I'm going to kind of like mold these two together. And it just worked out beautifully. So sorry, that was kind of long, but
hey, listen, we're here to listen all day long, man. I mean, that's brilliant. And it's, sometimes non-personal, like generic, like you say, the motivation pages, there's so many like non-personally branded pages out there. They're just theme pages is really all they are. And they're around a specific theme. I mean, they might be around motivation. For your theme is kind of like guard your mind, like mindset, like guard, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
right?
well, Jim Rohn. Have you heard of Jim Rohn
Yeah,
before?
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I
One
have.
of his he's kind of like a motivational speaker for those who haven't
Like the OG, the
like
original.
OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the
He's
guy
one
that
of my
Robbins learned from and was a kid and went to his seminars and so forth. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's one of my favorite, just kind of, I call him my mentor just because like he's helped me so much in my life. But one of the things that he said was stand guard at the door of your mind. And that's always just resonated with me because I was always the person who just kind of like accepted reality and accepted what people told me. And one of the things that I learned was like, you make your own truth. Like you don't have to accept what other people say. You can say, okay, I see what you're saying, but I don't agree with that. And you can just push that out, And so I was like, you know what? I love this saying. I want people to really guard their mind and understand that, like, you can achieve whatever it is that you want in life, and you can, and one of my tagline is stay guarded. And I always say it at the end of my videos is stay guarded, my friend. Kind of like how you do stay legendary, my friend. That's probably where it kind of came from, but I always say stay guarded, my friend. And it's just it could mean really anything, especially in today's day and age, the way the world is kind of scary sometimes. And it's hard to sometimes you go on social media and you're just like down because you're like watch the video and you're like, that sucks. So I just want people to have a more uplifting time on the app and just take a break for a second. And I think the thing that really helped was that I wasn't just there to make money or build a massive following. I was really there to really provide value to people. I wanted people to have a good day. I wanted people to be motivated to get up and do something. And that's just kind of where it all stemmed from. Sorry.
You know what's amazing? I was looking at one of your videos about, in the name of your page is, guard your mind. There's all kinds of religious pages on the internet that are, Jesus loves you or whatever, your religious mentor or whatever, where they have, again, it's a theme page. It's some human being. I mean, it could be a sloppy slob sitting in his mom's basement. I mean, it could be anybody, right? It could be anybody. And people for some reason will sort of take that generic themed content that's not coming from a person, it's not coming from a person on video sitting there talking to them. They will take it and hang on every word. And many of them will say on these religious pages, amen. And I was looking at one of your videos, it's fascinating. This one in particular, where it says basically, your guardian angel has a message for you. If you skip this video, the next few days will be a trying time. And it's just, sort of spiritual motivation, right? And very cool. Makes sense. I've seen it, thousands and thousands of times, and you have 54,000 comments of people who are sitting here like, I accept this. Amen. I accept, right? And it's fascinating because if you were on video, your face, right, sitting there saying that, I doubt that people would take that as seriously as they do seeing just the kind of cinematic video here. It's
to increase the rate at which this blessing.
Can you hear that? Is the sound coming through?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Your time has come. If you skip this, the next few days, your guardian angel has a message for you. If you skip this, the next few days will be a trying time, followed by extreme bad luck. If you interact 3 times with this message, the following blessings will fall upon you. The moment you fall into a deep sleep, everything is going to change.
If you said that direct to camera, nobody, it's just weird. Humans are absolutely fascinating. And again, I can go to pages all over TikTok, all over, all over social media, and find similar, I just put in, let me come back and share, just the first thing that came to my mind, which was, just typing in something, Jesus blessing. And, I can scroll through here and just find tons and tons of pages. Here's Jesus blessings right up here. And, it's similar kind of messages, we've got 90, people just, there's something about faceless kind of cinematic content that people will look at. This one, 4.5 million. Thank you, Jesus. And for dying on the cross for our sins, and it's almost like if somebody would have said this exact script direct to camera, it wouldn't have anywhere near 18,000 comments, but for whatever reason, it's almost, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's sort of like watching a movie, man. I mean, human beings, we will watch a movie knowing it's an actor, and then you know, we as a society lift actors up on pedestals as if they're superhuman. And it kind of works the same way on social media. When you're using sort of generic themed content, you've got sort of the serious voice there, the voiceover of the person who's reading the script. You've got the visuals there. And that's really compelling to human beings. We eat that stuff up. How do you make
Right.
sense of that?
I just think people just, like I said, in today's day and age, people just need something to hold on to. They need something to connect with, and to feel like somebody has their back. And I feel like people are just drawn to it. I always kind of think of it as those, you know, those, do you watch The Office?
Yeah.
One of the things Michael loves to do email forwards, and it's like, oh, if you don't do this, you'll have bad luck. It's kind of like that. They almost feel obligated to comment, you know, and they're just like, you know, I want this to happen to me. And
Yeah.
it's more so of just like a coming from like
Superstition or like
yeah,
or like luck or something like that, right?
yeah. So they just want something to hold on to and something that's gonna motivate them to keep going, you know. Hey, you know, blessings are coming soon. You
Yeah.
know, okay, well, I got to keep going. I can't give up now. I got to keep, you know, striving to the end.
Yeah.
It's just it's just something that people I like you. I can't really make sense of it. I don't know why it works. But it does. It works like a charm. And there's so many other ways that you can do faceless TikTok. I mean, you know, there's you don't even have to have stock video footage. People use a black screen, and just have the captions read on a black screen. There's
Yeah.
an account that it's called Elevate Minds. They have over 900,000 followers, and it's just a black screen. There's, you know, health and fitness guides who it's just photo carousels. All they do is photo carousels. It's a you know, AI generated image, and it asks them a question: do you have pain in your elbow? Then do this exercise, and they scroll over, you know. And it's like, that's all it is. There's a music account called LM Music Edits. Yeah. Most of them is just a black screen.
Truly loves you. You see, when a girl truly loves you, you are the first person with whom she shares every good and bad news. She respects your dreams and motivates you to chase them.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
Just
it's nuts.
crazy.
And there are, you know, there's a music account that's called LM Music Edits. They have 2.1 million followers or something like that. LM music underscore edits, but it should pop up if you just L music edits. Sorry, it should,
Oh,
that one, the first one right there. It's right there.
okay.
Yeah, 2 million followers. All they do is put song lyrics to stock video footage.
If this night is not forever, at least we are together. I know I'm not alone.
Unbelievable, man.
So yeah, and I think everybody should try building a faceless TikTok, or just faceless in general, because it really just helped me understand a couple things: the framework of a good script, how to write a good hook, because you're literally using these viral hooks every single day. So you're listening to them, you're hearing them, and I think that's what helped transition over to my personal page, when I was like, okay, well, these hooks were working for this. Let me just reframe it in my own way. And this script is helping, you know, get engagement on that page. And my personal account blew up. It's at 60,000 followers now in 30 days, you know? So I've built two followings.
That's scripted, right? You're taking, you're just taking a 30-second script or whatever, sort of similar to a script that you may have even used over on the Guard Your Minds page, and just kind of repurposing it and speaking it direct to camera or on camera, right?
Yeah, it's just like a simple framework. It's like, you know, you have your hook, you have, you know, call to actions, you know, more call to actions throughout the video, the body of your paragraph. But it's just like a simple framework that I use for pretty much every video. And then And I think one thing that helped me the most, I mean, if you go to my Daypreneur or Super Affiliate Dad and you look, every single one of my videos is responding to a comment with a video. And this has helped
That's
because
hot right now, right, man? That's that strategy of responding to a comment. Continue. Why
yeah,
does that work so well?
because I mean, for one, it creates this kind of like spider web of views because somebody is going to come to your profile or page, or they're going to come across your video, they're going to see it, they're going to immediately go to the comments, and then you're going to see all your responses. So they're going to click through those videos and watch your responses to those questions. So not only are you getting video views on one video, you're getting views on every comment that you responded to with a video. So you're getting views multiple times at the same time. And so it's it's kind of amazing how it works. And then also you're just providing value. You're just answering questions. I never really knew what it meant to be valuable to somebody until now. You know, I always like, oh, this is going to provide value to them. You know, it's because that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so I have an endless amount of content ideas. I'll never run out because there's thousands of comments on my page that I just click, film a 1 minute video of me talking about that question. And odds are, if somebody has that question, a lot of people have that question too.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to understand. And, you know, for me, it was always like, oh, what questions do people have? And I was trying to come up with them myself, and it just wasn't working. And so I was like, I'll just use their comments and their questions to
and
provide
just
value.
Going back to that, what is value, and realizing that's value, and now realizing you are valuable. I think the difference is, because I had that thought at one time in my career too. It was like I was doing nothing but talking at people. And I was like, this is valuable. Like, I think this is valuable. I'm spewing all of my information at them. Like, why are they not responding and engaging? And why isn't this blowing up? And until I started to have a conversation to where people felt like they were in the conversation, to where they felt a part of, sort of like this show. It's like, this show is valuable because there's a give and a take, and people feel a part of, instead of just like they're kind of down, in some, almost like some king up on a podium talking down to all of his peasants. I think that's how a lot of people feel with people on the internet nowadays, that there's like all these gurus who think they're kings, and they talk down to their peasants, and instead of talking to people. And I think that answering comments is a great example of that engagement, that back and forth, where people feel like they really have a say in something. Like, they have a feeling like you're paying attention to what they're saying, and even responding to what they're saying. And you don't even have to come out with brilliance. It's not even like you have to come out and be the smartest person. You're just facilitating the conversation. Does that resonate?
Yeah. No, and like you said, people just feel like, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is people just want help. They want help. And they have been, so many creators don't ever respond to them. They will DM them, nobody responds. One of the biggest things that people say to me is like, I really appreciate you responding. Like, nobody ever responds. Thank you so much, like, for taking time out of your day. And people just really resonate with that, because they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to figure out this game of life as well. And it's my job now is basically just facilitating that for them, making it easier to get information and making them feel like they're a part of a community. When I directly answered their question, they're just like, wow, this guy does really care, and then somebody seeing that was like, this guy answers questions. Like, maybe let me put my question in the comments. And so, it's like that hope factor again from Guardian of the Mind. It's like, maybe he'll answer my question.
It's like calling into a radio show, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's always been a strategy that radio shows have used since the beginning of the time, is taking callers and talking to the listeners.
Right.
And just, right. We can't it's hard to explain, but it's so understandable and relatable. And just, you see yourself in the person who the host is talking to, right? It's like you see yourself in the host. You also see yourself in the person that the host is talking to, who's calling in. You even think, maybe I'll call in and I could reach the person and I could be a part of the conversation. There's something just super organic about that. And that just kind of, Beth says people just want to feel heard, right? They want help. They want to feel heard. So just recap, remind us where you are getting the footage, where you are getting the audio voiceover, and just what are the tools that you're using to put those pieces together, just in case anybody had missed those pieces. Bring that all home for everybody who is listening and trying to kind of keep up.
Yeah. So most of my audios, I create now, but I'll still use other people's, audios on TikTok. So to do that, all you would do is go to a motivational page. If you notice that the profile picture is the same as the sound in the bottom right-hand corner, then that means that person created that audio. So you can click on that and then use it. It'll take you to a screen where it'll say use audio, and then you'll select your, desired video that you want to put to it. And then from there, you can download it in the edit screen. And you're doing this to get the captions. You don't want to use TikTok captions because they're absolutely horrendous. You want to be unique with your caption so it stands out. So you'll hit the save button. There's a little drop down when you're in the editing screen that'll allow you to save it, and it will save the audio with your video together. There's two ways of kind of editing. You can edit from CapCut. That's where I use. It's a free application. I mean, you can also do the pro version, but CapCut's free version is really great. So you would upload it into CapCut, and then you can extract the audio and then delete the footage that you have. So you'll have just the audio, and then you can take your stock video footage and then set it up the way that you want it so it looks appealing. Or you can do all the edits in TikTok and then download it and then just add some, fade ins and fade outs, things like that, depending on what niche you're in. That's how I get the audio into TikTok or into CapCut, and then do my edits from there. I typically find my stock video footage from Canva. So I have the pro version, so you can download the
pro version of Canva.
Yeah, excuse me, sorry. The pro version, so you can download it with watermark. And when you have the pro version, it also gives you the license to use your stuff. You can't just take it. This is very important. You can't just take it and put it onto TikTok without doing any edits. You have to do some edits. One, TikTok is going to be like, okay, this is like a generic stock video footage. There's nothing with it. Yeah. Two, you might get in trouble if you're just using just a plain video. So you have to do some edits.
Not do anything. It's not
right.
There has to be a message behind the visual.
Yeah. So a lot of people were confused that they're like, oh, I'm going to get copyrighted, all these different things. I'm like, no, I mean, if you're creating, that's what Canva is. If you're creating your own, making it your own, then it should be fine. It's
Canva's like Home Depot, right? They sell the lumber, and just the lumber alone's not valuable. You're not going to go and be like, hey guys, want to buy some lumber? Because no, I can just go to Home Depot and buy the lumber, right? But it's okay, I'm going to build something with this lumber. I'm going to build you a house. And that's what makes it unique. And that's what makes it you able as a contractor or carpenter to be able to put your own proprietary touch on it. This is mine. I built this. The same with Canva. They give you stock video or B-roll, as we call it, which is the imagery, the video, kind of the generic imagery that you can lay over these audios and the captions. They also, Canva friends, will make you, I mean, you can get also graphics, regular graphics too. Canva really has taken their game to the next level, and it's worth paying them money for their pro license. How much does it run a month?
It's like 12. I think it's like $12.99. I mean, it's definitely worth it. Like, I use it literally every day, and I've never second guessed it. It's like,
it's the best
I need it in my life.
Yeah, it's
especially
$12.
I know, and especially like creating ebooks and things like that. It's just like makes everything so much easier because you can just take the template and then edit it yourself and add your content, and it's so easy. But the last thing where I get my audios, if I'm not getting it from TikTok, is I use an application called 11 Labs. It's a text-to-speech application. So they have thousands of voices you can choose from.
Really?
The one that you hear on most of my videos, the guy's name is Adam. And it's one of the most popular voices on TikTok. So that's why I use it.
The deep one that we heard on both of the videos on multiple channels, tons of channels are using that voice. But so there's thousands of voices though you can choose from.
Yeah, they've got not just American, they have, British accents, they got, tons of different accents and things like that. So whatever your video needs, you can put it to that. And it's really easy to use. You just type in your script. There is kind of a little learning curve to it because you have to figure out how to actually, get them to pause when you need them to pause, in certain situations. But it comes with time. But
Nice.
yeah.
So you've got TikTok where you're finding audios and you're modeling different page videos and scripts and things of that nature. And so that would be where if you're actually using an audio off of another video, you could grab that, you could use that audio. You've got CapCut where you're doing all of your edits. You've got Canva where you're getting your B-roll from. And your visuals. And then you've got the 11 Labs where if you want to speak your own, you want to make your own script, which I almost feel like that is where everybody needs to be. Like you need to be speaking your own scripts because I really encourage people to, do as much, like don't rely on artificial intelligence until you've mastered it yourself. I mean, it's like copywriting, right? It's like writing your own copy, understanding what a good email is, understanding what a good video script is so powerful. And I'm sure you can attest to this. I heard you say this halfway through the interview that, when I started really understanding what made a powerful script and I started to kind of create my own framework, that's when really things took off to the next level. But 11 Labs is the voiceover where it will translate your voice into a different voice, and you have thousands of those voices to choose from, right?
Right. Yep. And that is free for, I think you get like 1,000 credits. But I think to get like 30,000, it's like $9 or something like that. But I have it unlimited, so because I use it so often. But
is that primarily what you're doing at this point is speaking, reciting your own scripts and then having it translated into a different voice?
So I'll do like one or two from TikTok. I'll use somebody else's audio, and I'll just put it to my video, especially if I'm having like a super busy day and I don't have time to script out a 1-minute video, because you only get paid from the creativity beta program if it's 1 minute or longer. So those ones do take a little bit longer just because you're having to script it out. But so I'll do one of those a day where I'll make my own. That usually takes me 20-30 minutes to do. And then the other 2, I'll post 3 times a day. When I first started, I was posting 4, sometimes 5 times a day, just video. I was just putting them out because I was just using other people's audios.
Gotcha.
And so it made it a lot easier. And then once I got to going, I started, making my own. So
Yeah. And you can tell if you use I'm on the computer right now, but I'm going to go to TikTok and see if I can show people this. So if you're on somebody's page and you click one of their videos, you go here to the original sound, right, David?
yeah, original sound. So with the LM music edits, that'll just be the music.
Yeah.
So you can take that, you can use that music.
Which is the audio, right?
Right, right. Yeah. When you're on your phone, because I don't think on the computer you can see, but you'll see the profile, and then on the bottom you'll see the actual like sound of who created it. So if it's not the same, that means it's just the background music of that.
Okay.
So you'll just have the background music of the sound. So
Gotcha.
just look for that.
Gotcha. Dude, this is super valuable stuff. And I mean, it really is so generous and so awesome for you to be helping so many people now with, your breakthroughs and what you've discovered. Congratulations, man. I mean, you deserve it, brother. You
Appreciate
are,
it.
you're really someone special. And I'm so happy that you're turning all your struggles into massive strengths. It's the road that everybody has to travel to get to their success. It's like, and so many people related to that, like the pain of failing. And that is what built, as much as it's so cliche and you hate to hear it as you're going through it. It's like, that is what builds character. I mean, that is,
Right.
you know what I mean? I mean, that's
Right.
when you finally get there, when you finally start experiencing success, that is what makes you appreciate it, what makes you want to protect it, what makes you want to just get better, because now you're experiencing compounding success. And that's so exciting compared to failure after failure and the pain of failure after failure. So it's like, man, this is sweet. I'm so excited about this. I love this so much because I know what it was like to fail and the pain of that failure. And you articulated that for us really clearly today with emotions and everything, brother. I just appreciate your time, and I can't wait to have you back and continuously, hopefully, helping train and teach right here in our community as well as what you're doing.
Appreciate it, Dave. Appreciate you having me on, and it's been a great opportunity and experience. Having these, like I had mentioned, becoming valuable is a strange thing because people want you to help them, and you're like trying so hard. And it's one of the things that I didn't realize was I wasn't really ready to go viral then. And now that I have done it, it's like, man, it's a lot of work, to be honest, because there's a lot of things that you need to do, and you have to be ready to capitalize on all of that. So if you haven't gone viral yet, just know that time is coming, and so just be prepared for when that does come, because you're going to want to be able to make sure everything is in order and working, and you have a plan for when it does, because if you don't, then there could be missed opportunities. So I just wanted to let everybody know, thank you so much for listening to me. And if you want to, follow me or whatever, that's great. But thank you so much, Dave, for the time today.
Oh, brother, it's my pleasure, man. And we'll definitely be reaching back out to have you on as many times as you'd be willing to come back. Okay, buddy?
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Super valuable stuff. Thanks for your time, brother. Keep rocking. Stay legendary.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, my friends, you can find David, follow him, support him, learn from him over on his Faceless page, which is guardian_of_minds. And then also over on his personal page, which is super.affiliate.dad. Those are both on TikTok. Super.affiliate.dad. Super affiliate dad with periods in between the two words. My friends, whoo, man, I'm about to throw on 3 hats here for the hat DDT. Holy smokes, I've been waiting to do that all episode. But I was just so tuned in. I mean, learning, soaking it up. Man, oh man. I mean, this is why we have to stay sponges. This is why I just got done. We came back from our mastermind in Orlando this weekend. And obviously, as much as I'm here to facilitate and teach and share, I'm also learning this game, this business, this industry, entrepreneurship, marketing is always changing. There's always new opportunities. There's always new things to learn. And we have to come each morning with a humble heart, man, with a heart to learn, with a heart to pour out our cup and come with an empty cup. I hope Dave gets a chance to go back and read some of these comments. I mean, thank you all for all of these amazing comments for David. He certainly deserves them. That was just wildly valuable and definitely like one of the top wake up legendaries we've ever done, just in terms of just coming out here and laying it all out, like letting us understand his strategy, also understanding what it took for him to get where he's at. Pay close attention to that. The man didn't give up. The man went through a lot of ups and downs, and more downs than ups, to get to where he's at right now. And I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that we need to learn from this morning, from that talk, was just how much resilience he had to get to where he's at, to where he was prepared for that breakthrough. So many opportunities to break down before getting there, and so much honesty around how hard it can be to make it through those difficult moments. It's a lot. I mean, just like his page says, guard your mind, right? Guard your mind. You have to guard your mind, not only from outside influence, but also you have to protect yourself from yourself. Oftentimes I am my own worst critic. Surely I get criticism from outside sources, sometimes even hurtful ones, friends, family. But I have to be the one who stays in the game. I have to be the one who guards myself, my mind, from others as well as myself. And I need to both surround myself and take in positive information, inspiration, but I also have to be speaking what I want to happen into existence. I have to be speaking it. Here's what's going to happen. Here's what I'm doing. My time is coming. That is so important. Not creating a negative self-fulfilling prophecy. So many of us talk ourselves right into quitting, right into failure, because we prophesize that these things are going to happen. I gave a special challenge to everybody at the mastermind this weekend to stop telling negative stories about yourself and about your business. Stop talking about how much you're struggling. Stop talking about how, many times you failed, right? Turn that into a strength. Turn that mess into a message, because you're the one who has to be inspired by yourself before you can start inspiring others. And I'm certainly inspired by David. And my hope is that he's as inspired by himself as I am by him. With that being said, my friends, get out of here. Put a lot of this stuff to work. Okay. Go back, re-listen to this episode if you want. We're going to have it right here on the Facebook page. You can also type into podcast platforms, Wake Up Legendary, and listen to the audio, so you can really take in what David said, as well as the nearly 1,000 episodes that we've done with other marketers, brand new, unscripted, and totally real, raw, original, and authentic, just like this morning's episode was. Get out of here, my friends. Have a blessed day. Stay legendary. Peace.